Hi, I'm Nico Kritsiotis. Welcome to the Direct Line powered by 10Bet. This week I'm at the Thoroughbred Breeders Association Sales Complex out in Germiston, ahead of the National Yearling Sales, often referred to as Germiston 1. Here's the National Yearling Sales catalogue, and it's taking place 16th and 17th of April. On today's show, we'll exclusively take you out to the sales complex, have a look around the stables, see who's out there buying, who's selling, and all the info that you'll need to guide you through the big sale happening. So I've made myself comfortable in these seats, which is part of the auditorium in front of the sales ring. And to come and buy horses, you can organize with the organizers of the event to get a buyer's card. So you do need a buyer's card before you start bidding for any horses, and they do various credit checks and so forth. But to come out here, all you need to do, as I did on my GPS when I was coming here this morning, is to put in Bloodstock South Africa Sales Complex, and it'll bring you here. And you can walk in and take a seat at the public seating, because there are reserved tables, obviously for the bigger buyers, and you can bid on your horse that you'd like to buy. But the interesting thing is how you do your bids, and some people, the auctioneers get to know individuals and how they bid. It could be a slight nod like that you're making a bid, or you could go like that, touch your hair, and or you could touch your ear or something like that, or just give a slight little nod. There are various ways and means of actually bidding for horses. It's not like you're sticking up a paddle and saying, because some guys like to remain incognito when they're bidding. It could even be a wink of the eye that you're bidding for a horse, because a lot of people don't like to be seen to be bidding for horses, and they don't like other people to know that they're bidding. So it's all quite an interesting arena when it gets going, and very interesting. So if you're not doing anything on the 16th and 17th of April, then make this a date and come and see how it all works. So here's the catalogue. We're actually in the yard looking at a couple of horses, and none of these horses have ever run before. In fact, they're only a year old, hence why the term yearling is mentioned in the title of the sale. Horses only start running when they're 2, so people come here to speculate what type of horse they're going to get when the horse turns 2, which is from the 1st of August this year. The horse will turn 2. Now, if you look carefully here, each page of the catalogue over here has got the horse's pedigree. So, for example, this horse is lot 202, so it'll be 202nd in the ring. Its horse's name is Old Brown, and it gives you the father and the mother, and then the father's parentage, and then the mother's parentage. Interesting. This I know this family pretty well. But if you look further down, it gives you details about the stud. It'll give you details about the stallion. It'll give you details about the mother, who she's produced, who have been her babies in the past and what they've done, whether they won 1 or 2 races. It goes down to this grandmother, the great-grandmother, and the great-great-grandmother. And that's as a horse's page. Now, where you see the dark writing, it's called black type. So effectively, for a horse to be an excellent horse, they've got to have bold black type and a lot of black type in their pedigree. And that's what that means if you look through the catalogue. And I've got with me a client liaison officer. I don't know if that's the right term. Is that the right term? Alistair Gordon, who used to be a trainer of many, many good race horses. Lovely to see you again, Ali.
Thanks very much, Nico. Yeah, good to see you here on the complex, and yeah, exciting times ahead.
Yeah, it's hotting up, but this is a major sale. Always been the best sale in the country, the biggest sale in the country. You've got 350 plus minors lots coming in here, and it'll be a flurry of activity in the next week, no doubt.
Yeah, obviously it builds up. We've still got a few studs to come in today and tomorrow, and by the end of tomorrow they should all be in here. I must be honest, I think it's one of the strongest catalogues we've ever had since I've worked for Bloodstock South Africa. And I think the individuals that I've seen in January doing inspections and re-seeing a lot of them now, I think we've got an amazing draft of horses here. And there'll be something for everybody, but I think it's a very, very strong draft.
What's the international interest like from other countries?
I'm not 100% sure. It's not part of my sort of portfolio. I do know from Hong Kong, we've obviously got Brett Crawford here at the moment, but he is going back tomorrow morning. And as far as I know, they are coming from the Hong Kong Jockey Club. and I think Dougie White's coming from Hong Kong. Outside of that, I actually, be honest, I don't know.
So, Alistair, you must have come here as a trainer in a different capacity, scouting these grounds for your next champion, and you must remember some fond memories of some good horses you picked here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, over the years, I actually started my career at Milner Park long before this complex was built, or just before it was built. But yeah, obviously I've been here for a long time, coming to the sales, especially the national sales. It must be nearly 50 years now. And over the years, I've picked some bad ones and some good ones. Now I don't have the pressure. I can just look at the good ones and wish I did train them. But no, I find what I do very exciting, especially seeing the horses in January and then re-seeing them again now. You see how horses improve dramatically from the time we've seen them doing inspections to now.
So just in terms of the inspections, do you rate them with a score? How does it work, and how many people are involved in that?
So the two of us, I originally started off with the late Jane Thomas, and then the last 2 years I've been working with Kathy Rymel. Kathy used to work with Duncan Howells, and she started in England. She's done lots of courses there with thoroughbreds, and I think she's very knowledgeable. We've had 2 good years together. So we make comments and then we score them as physical individuals at the time that we see them, not what we anticipate they're going to look like in 4 months' time. And obviously what I do is I take all the scores and comments and put them in my catalogue before I come up to the sales, and then I can reassess what I thought of them then, and because you can't remember all 400 horses, and then re-look at them now and see how they've improved, look at the comments I've made and things like that.
And just for your own personal sake, you must look at it and say who you think will be like the top lot on the sale or the top few lots. Are you often correct?
Every year they ask me to give them a list of the horses that I think might make maybe $1 million or more. I think last year I was pretty good. I don't know this year how good I'll be, because I think it'll be quite a lot. But yeah, it is exciting to pick out horses that you think will make money, and then they do make money, because obviously you're not the only person that likes them.
I think the highest price here was, what, 7 million? Round about there?
Yeah, I think 7 million. Yeah, could be. Yeah. Sorry, I can't remember exactly.
No, there's huge money that's spent here. But Alistair, all the best with the sale. We just wish you all the best with your the next week or so, and may it be another successful one for you and for Bloodstock South Africa.
No, Nico, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, but I'm very confident. As I said before, I think we have an outstanding catalogue and an outstanding draft of horses, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, look who I've bumped into. It's champion trainer Sean Tarry. He's always busy. I bumped into him on a few occasions this week at different places. We seem to have bumped into each other quite a bit this week. But you're here at the sales, you're doing your homework, and you come in this quiet time when the horses are here, but not many people have arrived yet.
Nico, there's a lot of horses to get through. So, what do they say? The early bird catches the worm. But in this case, if you're not early, you don't get to see all the horses. So trying to get through them. There's a lot of horses to get through, and hoping to find something decent.
Do you normally do the job yourself? Do you inquire with other agents or anyone else? I know you used to use your brother quite a bit.
I'm happy to do the work myself. I always like to know what is out there and what we're comparing the lots that we're interested in up against. So there's a lot of work to be done, and I like to see it and do it myself. It's worked up to now. So, yeah.
In terms of prices, I mean, you obviously update those prices year upon year when you see what the averages are, but you've got a price tag in your head on each horse.
You know what, it's early days. You sit down and see what your list looks like, and obviously bearing in mind how many quality horses there are on the sale, or how much depth there is on the sale, and then you start working prices out. I mean, often you get a small bracket of really quality horses that you know are going to fetch the money. They've got the right pages, the right physical attributes, and it sort of opens up the middle market. Sometimes it's more widespread, which is always nice, because it means the better prepared you are, the more you're going to find the nicer horses that are tucked away in the nooks and crannies.
And it's coming up to sales time. You must have orders from clients. So you've got a certain clientele that will come to you and say they're interested in buying for you. So you come here with a shopping list, basically.
Well, we haven't got the shopping list as yet. There is interest, which is fantastic. I've got some very good owners in my yard, and there is interest come this time of the year and the sales time, and fortunately the results have been good, and I'm hoping there will be orders. There isn't anything at this stage, but hopefully we're not window shopping.
And finally, the standard that you've seen thus far, I know it's early days, but you've only seen a few of them, or what's your general consensus on it?
Yeah, listen, I don't think I've done 100 horses yet, so it is early. It's not even a third of the sale, but there are some quality horses. The standard seems quite good, and I'm hopeful that we'll find some top horses here.
I hope it's a good one for you, and thanks for chatting to us.
Thank you.
So with me now is the Chief Operating Officer of 4 Racing, and he's a man that obviously resides in Joburg, and this is the premier Joburg sale, so he's out here looking at what horses may run at the racetracks that 4 Racing have here in Joburg, being Turffontein and the Vaal, and you've done a bit of work around here in your time. And what do you think of the standard of the catalogue?
Well, it's an amazing catalogue, and it's the most exciting time of the year. I think it's the best week of the calendar for anybody who loves their racing and loves their racehorses. And whether it's anywhere in the country, you've got owners from all over the country and international owners who come to these sales, and we look forward to this week, I suppose, more than any.
And it follows up from that brilliant meeting that we had last Saturday at Turffontein, Champions Day, and you guys as 4 Racing must be really chuffed with what transpired with the world pools that came through from Hong Kong, and just with the standard of racing in general.
It was a great day's racing, and I suppose that's the culmination, but that's where it all starts. If you want to have a horse in those races, you've got to get down to these sales. The sales companies have done a great job with their bonuses, etc., for those maiden juveniles. So it all starts over here to come and find your champion, and we just appreciate every owner who sticks his hand up and buys a horse, and ultimately they compete at our tracks.
Well, that's not the only thing. Colin's an administrator. It's his primary job, but you're also a horse owner, so you'll also be doing some speculating over here, taking a piece here and a piece there. You like to race in partnerships?
Yeah, exactly right. So the catalogue's got its stickers all over the place, and we've got to go and look at which individuals match the pedigrees and which ones we can take a share in and race with our mates.
Well, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. You can get cracking with it, Colin, but thanks very much for chatting to us.
Lovely, and thanks for being here and covering the sale, Nico.
So with me is David Hepburn-Brown, who's been a breeder for many years in South Africa. He is the proprietor of Germiston Stud. They're based all the way down in Hermanus in the Western Cape, and he joins me here now. He's had lots of success at all the sales, one of the top breeders of the country. David, nice to chat to you again, and welcome to Joburg.
Thanks, Nico. Good to see you again. Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while, but you've been coming here. How many years have you been here to this?
Okay. Good
Decades.
30, 40 years.
Yeah. And you always come here with a hope that you've got the next champion in your consignment.
Yeah, and also just horses that are going to go out and race and do you proud, do the farm proud. At the end of the day, you've got to produce winners to get people to come and look at your horses.
And you basically sell yourself because of the history of your horses being horses that the trainers know they can rely on, that they're hardy horses, and that they can, they hold their own wherever they race.
I'm lucky. I've had ups and downs years. I've been involved with some very nice horses that I've bred, but generally I try and breed a nice type of horse that somebody can go and have fun with and doesn't really break the bank buying from me.
Yeah. And what does it entail in bringing these horses? I mean, how many have you got here this year? And then tell us a little bit about how you get them ready and when you start getting them ready to bring them up here in April.
Okay, I work on about 3 months before the sale. I'll start bringing them in and out of the stables. Depending on the season, during the summer months, I'll bring them in the day, send them out, put them out at night. You start increasing their feed. And so your process goes, and then for about 6 weeks before the sale, before they actually leave, I'll start walking them. And then I don't use a hot walker. I actually walk them around the farm between the camps just to give them a bit of, that they don't get bored or anything. And because the farm's got 1 or 2 little up and down hills, they, I just think they work themselves and they enjoy it. And then I put them out into camps and they spend a bit of time there. And then obviously you pack and you move up here. You come up here generally about 10 days before the actual sale date.
And then when you're bringing them up, it's always an anxious moment for all breeders, I suppose, because they've got to do that long trek from the farm up here. How long would that ordinarily take?
Okay, I'll tell you, that's the most anxious moment of it
Yeah.
all, because you do all your work. You get to the day of loading them. You hope they're going to load and just walk in quietly. It doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes they perform when they get in there. And then it's the journey. And you've got to hope that when you offload them on the other end, that there are no cuts and grazes and bruises, and they haven't got upset along the way and jumped over partitions or things like that, which can happen, or get colic on the trip. Generally, the trip takes about, for me from Hermanus, is about 20 hours to Joburg. This time, because of the fuel and that the trucks were travelling slower and having to stop a lot more to try and put fuel in, because you can't just fill up with diesel. These horses travel for 23 hours.
So 23 hours is the long journey here, and please tell me that everything was okay when they arrived here. Are you here to greet them, by the way?
I'm here to greet them, yeah.
And were they good?
They were all 100%.
Yeah.
It was mostly one of the best trips I've had horse-wise travelling up here. They loaded like a dream. They travelled up here, climbed off happily, and they've settled in.
And now the sales is a week away. What are your expectations? What do you think? Have you got the right horses for the sale? Do you think they'll sell well?
I hope I've got the right horses here. I think I have. I've got some very nice horses here. I had a very nice sale here last year, and I think I've got some nice horses here.
Well, we look forward to coming and visiting you and looking at the specimens themselves, but always a pleasure chatting to you. We go back many, many years. I think I once owned a horse that was bred by you too.
Yes, you did.
At least one.
We go back a long way.
All the best, Dave, and let's hope it's a great sale for you. And thanks very much for chatting to us.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Nico. Thanks. Bye.
Well, if you're coming out to the sales, a popular man is Carl from Vilkebosdrift. I've seen him here many, many years. In fact, we were going through the number of years he's worked here, and it's definitely over 20. Carl Fredericks works at Vilkebosdrift, and how many years have you been working at the farm for now?
I'm 23 years now, Vilkebosdrift.
And coming here to Joburg? Same, 23?
Same years.
Now, you come all the way from the Western Cape, from Piketberg, so it's a long way to travel. What's life like out there?
It's nice. It's nice.
Quiet.
It's quiet there, but it's a long drive to Joburg to look at the horses here.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be here.
And your main job is obviously to look after the horses on the journey to come here, and then whilst they're here, to make sure that they look good for the potential buyers.
No, I come from was the truck. Me and another driver come.
Are you driving?
Yeah, and driving also. Yeah.
Oh, you're driving.
Come here with the truck, and then wait for the horses here.
So when you drive, you've got these horses which are potentially worth millions in your vehicle. How do you feel when you're doing it?
No, I'm not driving the horse with the vehicle. With the horses, I drive alone with the stuff on all the things.
Okay.
Not with the horses.
Not with the horses.
Okay.
But just tell us, you told me just now that you lived in Paarl. You grew up in Paarl.
Yes.
But how did you get involved in working for a horse stud?
Okay, I was starting at Vasfontein. Small 13 years I worked there at Vasfontein.
That's another stud there.
Another stud.
But how did you How did you get into, first of all, working with horses?
The time I grew up, my mother was, my grandmother was stay on a farm with horses, like Vasfontein that time.
Yeah.
And I grew up. I was worked there by also Langeberg stood, and Arkansas also was there, and then I go to Vilkebosdrift.
But you must love this to have worked in all these years.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved to work with horses.
And tell us some of the horses that you remember being involved with that became champions in South Africa.
So, you can see, I got Wam, And I've got Rainbow Bridge is also champions.
Yeah, those are excellent horses. Eh?
Yes. All the three brothers. What's the Selectic? What's his name?
Celestial City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one also.
And tell me, Carl, how many horses you got at the sale this year?
I got 26 here.
That's a lot.
26, yeah, I got 26 here.
And what are the general standard? Excellent. You always breed a good horse.
Yeah, it's nice. A lot of nice horses here. Yeah, between this, it's got nice horses.
Well, let's hope you get the prizes you generally deserve. I've seen you here many years. I know that you guys do a great job, and just wishing you all the best for the sale, Carl.
Oh, thank you to have me here.
Thank you. Okay, I'm here with all the guys from Volkerbos Drift. They've come up to Joburg. They're looking forward to a good sale. I just want to hear it from all of them. Shout if you think you're going to have a good sale. Yes or no? Yes! There we go. You heard it from them. You've got to come and visit Mary Slack's stud. It's Volkerbos Drift, and we've just met all the guys here, and they're having a party. Well, I'm very privileged here at the sales ground to be bumping into these gents. We've got Brett Crawford now training racehorses in Hong Kong, and he's only here for a few days before he has to fly back and go to the race meeting there. And his son James, who's taken over Brett's operation here, is doing swimmingly well down in Cape Town with Tim Woodruff up here in Joburg. I want to touch on Brett coming back. Great to see you in all your gear. It's still advertising, I see, and advertising greatly. The only place that really needs you as a trainer is Liverpool, because they're not doing so hot at the moment. But you're doing so well over there, and congratulations on that.
Thanks, Nico. It's been a good start. It's a very competitive place, but we've been afforded a few opportunities with a couple of nice horses, so we can't complain. It's been a good start to the season.
Absolutely. Well, you went there. I mean, you were granted a license there. It started off small, as everyone does, and you've sussed them out by now. That you've won quite a few races. You've got tremendous stats too.
Yeah, look, like I say, things have gone well. We were very fortunate to get a horse called Encountered, who ended up winning a Group 3 for us after being there for, within the first 3 months of the season. And I think he really, he really got things going for the stable. So, very, very thankful to Encountered.
Absolutely, and you've come back to have a look at the horses, and you and James, I see, have been scouting the grounds quite a bit this morning. Your general feeling on the standard? You always come to the Nationals.
Yeah, look, there's a few farms that we still haven't seen. Some of the horses are still arriving, but at the end of the day, I think there's horses across the board here. So we're still working hard, preparing the short lists, and hopefully we'll find something that will end up in Hong Kong one day. Yeah,
I hope so too. And then what is the story now with James? Are you still keeping a beady eye on him, or are you letting him run his own ship here?
A bit of both. No, obviously, Gwen and I watch all his runners all the time. James and I speak on the phone really often, about everything, about racing and about personal stuff. But we're close and we keep in contact, which is great. So definitely keeping an eye.
Well, that's great stuff, and you must be very proud of your pops, yeah?
Yeah, listen, Nico, I don't think anyone in South African racing could be prouder. To go there the way that he has for his first season there, have a group win under the belt, really flying the flag high, and I think he's only bound for more success with the seasons to come.
Absolutely, and we miss you in Joburg, but you had to run down to Cape Town and sort out your dad's string and take that over. But Timothy's doing a great job here for you too.
Yeah, he's got a stellar horse pedigree, if you will, through the family. He's a great horseman. He's really done a great job in taking over Joburg and running with it at full throttle. So, we're very proud of him and the work that he's continuously doing for us. And I think we've also got a bright future to look forward with Tim running the Joburg yard.
And you're looking forward to the Natal season. Obviously, you're getting those horses ready. It's going to be a good one. I know you're planning certain things and that going on there, but you're looking forward to that?
Yeah, definitely, Nico. I don't think we've got necessarily the same kind of string size as we've had in the past. But in saying that, I think the quality that we've got, I definitely think we'll be boxing smart this season in Natal.
Well, great stuff to be joined here by the Crawfords. We wish them all the best. We'll be watching them all over the world, and carry on doing a good job you're doing.
Perfect. Thanks, Nico.
Well, that'll wrap up our first week here at the National Yearling Sales. We'll be back next week with some more views and news coming through from the sales ground, with the hope that you'll join me on the direct line powered by 10Bet. This has been another episode. Thanks for joining me. See you again next week. Bye-bye.